What's going on, everyone? Welcome to my first ever Thor podcast, to the Gloss Garage podcast. Hopefully, you guys all hear me well. Happy Friday. Just like Becca said, hello, everyone, for tuning in. If some of you don't know, my name is Sak. I have my own detailing channel called Detailing Made Simple. And yeah, so we're here and we're here to talk about panel preps. And before we get into that topic, how's everybody doing today? How's everybody's Friday going? And yeah, so just comment down below. And in the meantime, as I'm doing that, what I would like to show is just make sure you guys ask any questions down below. That way I can answer it throughout this podcast. I'm gonna keep this about like 45 minutes to an hour. And yeah, so first off, why did I choose the topic of panel prep, right? Why did I have this suggestion that came up in my head of why do I think all panel preps are the same, or are they the same? And they kind of are, right? Um, and I will touch into that as we speak, and especially with the whole simple fact that why do I think all panel preps are kind of the same? Well, this is a discussion that's always been going on for many years now with certain brands that have their own panel preps, and I've tried literally a whole bunch under the sun. And there are some detailers that literally like to use their own panel preps in their detailing business, or even some enthusiasts that it doesn't matter what coating they're going to be installing, they're going to be using their specific panel prep, whether it's Carpro, Gyeon, DIY Detail, Pelias panel prep, and so on and so forth. Everybody has their preferred panel prep, and I will run through pretty much my list and what are the differences between some of them that I've noticed. Yo, what's going on, Juice? What's going on, Wes? What's going on, Lazy? Thank you for tuning in. Damn, from Australia. Right now it's 8 in the morning out there. You doing? Rise and shine and ready to detail. What up, what up, what up? Remedy, Frank, what's going on? T-Bone, Becca. Hope everybody's doing well. But yeah, so let's get straight to the topic. So there's been this whole dilemma on certain brands that ideally you want to use the brand's panel prep in order to install their specific ceramic coating, and the reason is because of chemical compatibility or synergistic chemical compatibility between the brands. And again, the chemists did develop their specific panel prep before you're ready to install their coating, so that way you get the best bond as possible. And what I've noticed throughout my years is I don't really um, follow that segment anymore, really, or that segue in terms of using a dedicated panel prep. And what do I mean by that? I have my top 3 favorite panel preps at the moment that I've truly really been enjoying, but I'm always really either grabbing these top 2, and which is Pelias panel prep from Phoenix EOD and Veritas from Labocosmetica. Those are literally my top 2 that I'm always gravitated to grab. No matter what coating I've used, both panel preps that I've used, literally, I haven't seen any degradation on any coating whatsoever. And what is the panel prep really for, right? The panel prep is really just mainly to just prep the paint before you coat. Now, there are some couple of things that a lot of people need to understand with the panel prep is not all panel preps are the same. They do the same thing initially, but they all don't actually do the job well. And what do I mean is I'm gonna give an example. Some panel preps are just slicker. They rub off easier or wipe on the surface, flashes a lot easier, and actually deep cleans the panel and remove those polishing oil before actually applying the coating, because there are certain compounds out there that are just super oily, super greasy. And the reason for that is not every company wants to add fillers to their compounds and polishes. So after you're done doing a polishing step, the whole purpose of it is to remove those polishing oils. But some of those fillers and oils are very heavy, and sometimes you need a strong panel prep. That's why Rupes has their strong and light, and then you have what I feel are the top two best panel preps is Peleus and Labocosmetica Veritas, which Veritas is dilutable, and I like to dilute it 1 to 2 or 1 to 3. And I've seen it live on a coating that's just been sitting there after 24 to 48 hours, and it was removed. So that is just insane to me on how it just literally broke down the coating. In terms of Carpro Eraser, Ulysses, I'm gonna tell you something with Carpro Eraser is not my favorite. And the only reason why I like to say that is when I used it to remove Sonax and some Zerna polish, it just I had to give it an extra wipe. And it's really good for like 80% of other ones, but at the same time, you can't even get it in California, which is a bummer. And it's not really the slickest under the surface. It's a little bit grabby, on my opinion, and that's why I didn't enjoy that. Now it's for interior glass. Juice free, yeah. I mean, there's some people that actually dilute 50/50 isopropyl alcohol or IPA or panel prep with water and just actually use that to clean glass. I've done that before, and you can't really do that with all panel preps. Again, just depends on the slickness because some panel preps are super grabby, and I've done that before. And yeah, Peleus is just my thing. Let me bring this comment up because Ulysses is Sock just polishes a panel for 40 minutes to swell up the paint. First off, it wasn't 40 minutes. It was a while, but all right, look, I'm gonna give you guys all the context of where this 40-minute polish came from. So I went over in 2023 last year to Eddie's garage, and that's where I was, I met up with Ivan and Eddie for their Rotary training. And I'm not gonna lie, yo. Ivan, you had a lot of patience with me, but there was this one panel that was finicky, and let's just say the car was super beat up. And I'm leaving holograms, I'm doing this fender, and it's just not working for me. And again, it's a rotary training. I've never really used a rotary. I probably only used it once or twice. And it was on some GM paint, and I couldn't finish down. And Ivan, like I said, had a lot of patience, and you got Ulysses over here and Eddie just breezing through the other panels. But there were some areas that just didn't finish down nicely. There was like this rear quarter panel that Ivan, we were using. I'm gonna say it. I mean, we were using a whole variety of brands, like finishing pads on the rotary, and Ivan prefer textured pads, pretty much just waffle pads, and nothing was finishing down. And this is before DIY came out with their actual red waffle pads, their jeweling pads, and we've tried every pad. You have Eddie ripping polishing pads and making them to literal tire applicators because we couldn't finish down that one panel. It was just leaving a hazy look, no real holograms, just literally just hazy. And literally Ivan's like, I got to see where this package is at because it should have been here yesterday. And Lord and behold, it was sitting outside. It was snowing, and we brought that box in, and that's where we had the DIY detail polishing pads. And we used it. We finished down nicely, and that's pretty much the premise of the story. So it took 40 minutes. We weren't using the right pads or the pads that was needed, and yeah, I just sucked. What do you want me to say? I literally just sucked. What's going on, Mike G? Appreciate you for stopping by and wishing me a good podcast. $30 coding plus a 40-minute. Bro, it was a 40-minute polish, Tim, on a actual panel. That's literally what it was, where I was at. Literally just 40 minutes of just polishing on one panel. Exactly. The whole a lot of areas was repainted. That car was literally trash. That car was literally trash. All right, so back to the whole panel prep. So yeah, so lately now I don't really use the brand's panel prep. I just use those two, and so far I haven't missed literally I haven't seen any degradation on any real coating that I've used. I've actually had the instance again with the whole last podcast, which I had was the whole our ceramic coating warranties worth it. And I've used literally their entire brand from start to finish, and the coating failed with that brand. And here I am. And I've used I think I've used Phoenix COD with my what was it? No, never mind. I actually used Phoenix Veritas to do both my panels, which was Labocosmetica, which I have my car, which is one is half ADS and the other one is Veritas, and I use that to coat to panel prep my entire car, and that's literally what I ended up doing. Sock, when do you grab one over the other, or is it whatever is closer? Like I said, I truly enjoy both. It's not really one. If I'm using say a polish that has like heavy type of oils, like I said, like Sonax or something like that, or something that I'm like I really got a deep, you know, deep clean, and I really want to ensure I remove those polishing oils, I would really grab Veritas for those heavy, oily, greasy type of polishes. And that's just the only reason why I grab that one is because it's dilutable. I don't use it straight. I use it literally just 1 to 3 or 1 to 2, and that's literally just enough to remove all those polishing oils in one single swipe. Now, the one thing that Labocosmetica likes to say is you really want to douse the whole car. When I mean wet it, it looks like you're doing a waterless wash. Bro, I'm not doing that. Especially when you're already using a dampened rinseless towel, you're already removing 90% of those polishing oils anyways. So at that point, if you're using that method, pretty much any panel prep will work. Juice free DIY detail app is a panel prep replacement. Um, in a sense, yes. It's not a you yeah, I mean it is. It's just opening up the pores of the paint. You don't really need to panel prep anything, and that's why it's there. Kind of it's not exactly like the Dr. Beasley's N95 polishes or their end line when it comes to their primer polishes or Gyeon's primer polishes or any primer polish, because it actually doesn't leave um, an actual, what Ivan said in his video was it doesn't actually leave anything on top, because in terms of what this is what Dr. Beasley said about their coatings. And this is what they said, not their coatings, their N95 polish. Pretty much their primer polishes is it leaves kind of like a Velcro where the SiO2, it leaves SiO2 on the surface, and then the SiO2 of the coating bonds onto it like a Velcro. And that's what makes it bond and link. In terms of the DIY detail app, what it pretty much does, it swells the paint to the point where more of ceramic can get into the pores of the paint and pretty much give a better bond because it's digging itself deeper into the clear coat. That's pretty much the analogy of what's going on with that DIY detail um, app. So that's pretty much just two whole different scenarios. Just one is more of like a Velcro, one sticking and grabbing on more to the other. And then the other one is just swelling up the paint and just digging in deeper. I mean, everybody has their own thing. I've used Dr. Beasley's N95. That's what I've used before. Um, the only thing is I just can't physically get myself to enjoy that ghosting effect, especially on a black car or those pillars. And Phil Miranda always talks about it. You can coat right over that. It doesn't matter. It'll go away on its own. But for me, physically, it's just kind of annoying to see, especially when I like to give the vehicles back after a couple hours. And from there, those customers literally, damn, I say the word literally a lot. I gotta find a new word. Guys, I'm Spanish, so if you guys can help me out with some dictionary words to replace the word literally, I would gladly appreciate that. But yeah, so I give the car back after a couple hours after coating it, and then from there is just I don't want them to see any ghosting effect, or that type of thing where they're like, "Oh, I gotta wipe down the vehicle," and stuff like that. Drive Auto ceramic, polish, yes, from Great Point. That's another one. I've used theirs before. Another great primer polish. Look, there's a lot of great products out there, and I guess this pretty much is gonna be the same subject with the whole panel prep, right? There's a whole bunch of great panel preps out there. There's nothing bad with panel prep. Just use the one that you like. But for me, those are my top two. And I feel like those literally work the best. And they work most effective for me. And they wipe on quicker, easier, easy to wipe off, feel slick under the towel, and remove everything. Instead of using the word literally, use detail AF. I could rock with that. I could rock with that. But yeah, Drive Infinite Gloss is so good. Yep. I've used their Eddie, you're the one that gave me their ceramic polish and their all-in-one regular one. Both work fantastic. I mean, I wouldn't say all that. I mean, it's just that's what he tests and that's what he enjoys. I guess that's the whole thing. We rather have a whole bunch of great products or products that works for you and vice versa. Um, that's all I could really say about that. All right, Tuan, you got a great question here. I mean, isn't a panel prep supposed to get rid of everything and leave a bare paint for coating? So why would it matter if it's a different brand? All right, I for me, based on experience, I could tell you two separate scenarios. Like I said, there are certain polishes out there that just leaves a lot of oily filler or residue behind that you truly won't even clean. Even if you're using a damp and rinseless towel at sometimes, you're not going to remove all those polishing oils 110%. And Jason Rose actually had a perfect analogy, which actually I end up doing myself. And I find myself doing that. What I end up doing after I use a panel prep, and again, use whatever panel prep you want. Each panel prep, you got Gtechniq. Gtechniq's panel prep is strong. I just don't spray it directly on the panel. When I used it, I don't use that anymore, but that's one of those things where it will leave little dots on the paint. So I like to spray it on the towel, wipe it in, and flash, and that's every single coating. But the problem with the coating is certain panel preps have these surfactants in there that what happens is it doesn't really flash away and they stick themselves deeper into the pores of the paint. So when you're ready to coat, say right after you're done panel prepping, what's going to happen is you're just those surfactants didn't fully evaporate. And that's what distinguishes between a good panel prep and a bad panel prep. In my opinion, again, just Veritas and Pelias panel prep are the top two for me that I end up using the most. And I wait 15 minutes, even after I'm done doing the panel prep the first round, say it takes me 15 minutes to go around the car, I wait an extra 15 minutes and I let the rest of those whatever minuscule surfactants that's in there, that's in the pores of the clear coat, let it evaporate. So that way you're ready to coat over it. That's just like any polish. There are some polishes out there that they say you can't you can polish or not polish that you can ceramic coat right after you're done wiping. But the problem with those is same thing. What you have to do is you got to let those polishes evaporate. For example, you could use any type of polish that says it doesn't have any fillers or anything. And if you coat right over it, yeah, you'll get some beating effect. But after 2 days, or not 2 days, after 2 weeks, it comes back and probably your car isn't beating the way it was after 24 hours and you did the water test because those oils are inside the pores of the paint. And what you can do is to combat that, which I've seen happen before, is you use a polish with no fillers. And every polish is going to have a little bit of filler because of the lubrication and stuff and the oils that's in there to make it lubricated so you could do the section passes. But from there is if you let it sit there for, say, a day or even a day in the hot sun or whatever, once those polishing oils are like dried up, removed, and evaporated from the clear, you can coat right over that and you will have zero issues. But who's gonna wait a whole day to coat their car? Exactly, Adrian. Exactly. That's what I end up doing myself. I just use whatever panel prep I enjoy, and that's pretty much it. The ceramic coating is gonna stick pretty much to anything. And like Johan said, it's meant to leave the bare paint behind. Just certain panel preps work better than others. Let's see. Should you be price? Bro, don't be using these big words. I already told you what I am. Uh, should I be conscientious when purchasing a panel prep? Then I don't, just like anything in life, price shouldn't be the determining factor. I mean, everybody has their own budget, and there are just some things that are just sometimes overhyped. Just use what you feel is right, and obviously, um, the term is, it's either buy nice or buy twice, and that's something that I kind of live on, and that's my motto. And price, you should just do more of your homework and just what what are the reviews giving you, what are the things. If you have 1,000 reviews and it's 4.0 stars, then 90% of the time it's going to be a good product overall. I pretty much summed up that question. There's so many choices now for detailing products that everyone has their preferences. Exactly. That's exactly the whole thing. You rather have a whole bunch of good products than not have any products at all. Literally. Again, I'm saying that fucking more. Let's see. I believe Dr. Beasley's Diamond Body Pro Tech has a specific have to use. All right. About DB, my personal opinion is, again, you don't need to use their specific panel prep. It just, to me, it's just more of a marketing. Hey, use this panel prep and your coating will stick better. I've used Diamond Body and I've seen degradation using their panel prep, and I've also used as well as another panel prep, and it lasted. Was it both same polishes? No difference whatsoever. Gtechniq times 2 is what I use for panel prep. Ron Gyeon, a very reputable panel prep. For me, I don't use it anymore, and it's just a little bit too grabby for me. I'm not sure if they updated the formula. Last time I used Gyeon was probably like 3 years ago. I barely use their products. G Gtech's panel prep will white. Bro, Gtechniq panel prep wiped my yellow teeth out and made them white. Look at that. See that? Chemists are different, so are their products. Um, Look, there was this discussion a while back on a podcast. This was a while back where they do have chemists, right? They make their products to be, again, chemical synergistic and chemical compatibility, all that other stuff. And they do it in a lab of like, hey, we wipe this. Are they going more on what polishing are they using or what polishes they're using? Are they using their brand's polishes? Because that's another thing, because the same chemists who are pretty much the same ones that create their polishes. So when is probably just using that panel prep to remove that polishing oil. That doesn't necessarily mean that, it's going to bond better. It's just more of like how it cleans up their polishing oils. As of right now, everybody has their own polishes and compounds that they enjoy using. Not everybody use and sticks with their specific brand. There's people that I know that use XYZ brand for their ceramic coating, and they'll use a different brand for their panel prep and a different brand to polish and correct the paint. And at this point, everything so far has worked. And no ceramic coating. And this is just me being straight up. No ceramic coating is really going to last its full lifetime if you're not maintaining it and if it's a daily driver. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Chris Bradley. I look at the SDS and decide based on that. I normally use Coach Chemi PPS, but it's not as strong as Gtechniq or Diamond Protect that have acetone if you need to remove. And it goes back to that point is what type of polishing oils are you removing? Are you using a damp and rinseless towel to remove after every section pass? Because if you are and you have the rinseless, you're pretty much just wiping down the car twice. If you really think about it, you're cleaning up those polishing oils with the damp and rinseless towel, wiping off. And then by the time you come back around and do the panel prep, all those heavy polishing oils are gone. Happy Friday, happy Friday. Happy Friday, Christy. Happy Friday, Kimberly. Let's see. You're coding without a one step. I don't know. Juice free. You need to help me out here. David Boyce. Sock, thank you for spitting out your New York knowledge. It's not a lot of knowledge, man. It's just more of just trial and error. I'm in the hood. Look, I don't even got a garage door, so why does it, just take my stuff with a grain of salt. Let's see. The devil's in the details. All right, Frank. So, Sock, do you still wait 10 to 15 minutes after panel prepping the panels with the panel prep? Yes, I do. I still wait 10 to 15 minutes just because every panel prep has their own surfactants in there as well to either make it slick, remove those polishing oils, stuff like that. And they probably linger a little bit, just a little bit inside the pores of the paint. And you just want that to evaporate. And great panel preps that evaporate quickly and you notice the true finish of the paint, they will easily evaporate, and that's pretty much it. What's going on? What's going on, Joel? Let's see. Had to work hard for these. Had to work hard for these. Tell clients that time frames for the duration of a coating all depends on hoe. Yeah. So your car is not a hoe. That's number one. But yes, Ron, the time frame of the coating all depends on how it's maintained. And there was a comment on the previous podcast where somebody said that they're a new customer, they got their car coated, but everybody says how it's maintained and what should be the course of action of maintenance. And he washes the car every week. And I think that's pretty much all you have to do is to maintain the coating. If you're washing it weekly, that's great. pH neutral soap, rinseless wash it weekly, every 3 to 6 months. Spray a little bit of iron remover. If it needs to be decontaminated with a light clay towel, use your clay towel. That's all you need to do. And damn, it's already 8:30, everyone. All right. I have a quick announcement for everyone. And what is the announcement? Here it is. So Thor is giving away $500 this month for all of you. And all you have to do is put hashtag GG podcast in the comment section, and I'll be giving away a $100 gift card to the winner, and I will announce it next week. And just ask whatever questions. I could do follow-up questions on my next podcast live. I'll have a quick comment section, a quick little 5 top questions of whichever questions gets the most likes on this podcast comment section down below of any question you guys want me to answer, or girls, and I'll be happy to answer it. And yeah, just leave hashtag GG podcast and you're entered to win. And I will announce it live on the next live stream. So I truly appreciate Thor for even doing this. And everybody's going to be able to get their Christmas stuff and Christmas. Oh, talking about Christmas, a little bit off subject. I've been seeing a lot of posts on group chats and Facebook group chats about people not getting their order. And it's specifically talking about, Thor and their delivery process and why is it taking so long for them to get their order. They ordered Black Friday and they're just getting it today. It's Thor is it's a new company that's on the line, and they have a bunch of products, a bunch of stuff, and it's not just a small lineup of product that they have. And if you're ordering on the busiest time of the year, I've ordered stuff from Macy's, I've ordered stuff from Target, and they still haven't gotten here yet. How are you going to place an order and talking about, oh, it took 10 days for you to deliver my package or for me to get a confirmation order? You're ordering the busiest time of the year. That's like you going to your restaurant, your favorite restaurant at that point, sitting down every Tuesday and Wednesday, and you get your food in 15, 20 minutes. And come Saturday on a holiday, on a weekend, like I said, Saturday, holiday, and everybody's out and about, you're not going to get your food in 15, 20 minutes. Just be patient. And that's it. If you're a business and you're rushing to get those products in your store, then you need to work on your product management. You need to be able to just have enough product to last you until X amount of months. You can't just bank on Black Friday and expect it to come back the next day. That's just me talking about some just real stuff, because it's just insane to me that people really want their stuff that quick. And that's on some real feel me? So we got Ulysses, Phoenix, DIY, or Carpro. Try one of those and you should be good. Just use whatever panel prep you use, which one just you enjoy using. What polishing or what polishes are you using? Um, if they work great, they work great. Boy, we already know what you were talking about and thinking about, Ron. Let's see, Matt. Panel prep is one product I don't usually mess with. I've only ever tried eraser and it works. Exactly. Use whatever works for you. Don't venture off if you don't want to venture off. Use whatever you enjoy using. All right, let's see. Huh? Bro, the GG podcast is in the comment section after the video, not now. Put it in the comment section. Nobody's going to win anything today. Just put that in the comment section after the show. Hashtag GG podcast. Ask any question, the top 5 questions. I will answer those questions as well. And then everybody will be entered to win. So make sure you put that at the end of the video. Appreciate you, Hippo. Thank you. Glad you're enjoying the show so far. No one listens or redirections. Look, I speak a little hood, so sometimes I don't say things the way they should come out. And by all means, I mean, everybody put hashtag GG podcast. Thank you, Franco, for my Spanish brother out there that understood my sinking language. Exactly. Everybody needs to just relax with the shipping. It's a holiday season. And on top of that, I think last year we had 5 weeks of Christmas or holiday from Black Friday to Christmas, and this week we only have 4 weeks. So everybody is booked out and shipping, and everybody's ordering way more. So pretty much everybody is shipping a lot more in a shorter time frame, or the same amount in a shorter time frame. All right, everybody. Any questions you guys want to ask me? why I detail, how I detail, why I take 40 minutes. I already answered that question. But yeah, just ask any other questions. Just don't be afraid to chime in and ask questions. Let's see, is detail code ever going to be available at my local detail supply store? Um, I'm just a podcast host, so I don't know. Hippo, comment section, not here. My guy. Love you. Let's see. Everybody should be happy. We have a place like Thor. Look, Thor so far has been to me just a. This is me just speaking honestly with you guys and girls. Thor has definitely changed the game so far in detailing. And what I mean change the game is adding product lines that not everybody carries, right? You can't get Labocosmetica everywhere. Phoenix COD, you can't get it everywhere. Yeah, you could get it on Amazon, but now you got that. You got Miles Deep. You have DIY Detail. And it's just so awesome because all your favorite brands or even unknown brands that a lot of people don't carry, you can grab those brands and international brands like Cativa. You could get all those brands in one shop, pay $125 for shipping. I mean, $125. I said $125. You could pay $125 for your whole order and get free shipping. You can mix and match whatever product line. You don't got to click on DIY Detail on itself, on Labocosmetica on itself, at Phoenix COD or Miles Deep. You can just order at one place and you can get all these brands that, like I said, not everybody carries. Um, and yeah, yo, you know what? I may do that. Everybody that put hashtag GG podcast have been disqualified. You got to put that in the comment section. Let's see. Let's see. Can I ask House? You can ask whoever you want. I mean, I'm not. I'm just a podcast host. I just talk about detailing. That's all I do. How do you get everything to look like a clean mirror? Well, I take 40 minutes to polish one panel, Kim. That's my, unfortunately, that's my whole detailing. That's gonna stick for me for the rest of my life until I'm 50, 60. Until I'm at the age that Ivan's at. I will be forever known as the 40-minute polish panel guy on a rotary. So no, I mean, in terms of how I get a clean, uh, it's just you just have your own techniques. What I end up doing is I feel like I don't do anything different than anybody else. It's just more of 3-section passage. Just find whatever combo works for you. And what I do a bunch of one steps. That's what I do. 90% of my details is one steps and codings. And when I do a one step, all I do is find what is the best combo, whether it's a polish pad combo, or sometimes what I end up doing is I will mix a polish with a little bit of compound to get that extra cut. So that way the polish can cut a little more and it will finish down nicely, even when it's on a black vehicle. And that's what I do. I just try to do remove as much defects in one step, and that's it. Uh, am I ever gonna get garage doors? I'm not. Nah, I'm not gonna get garage doors. And there's a reason why for it. And the reason for it, there are some big news coming soon, and just stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for the future. Rick Smith, Sock. What is the most interesting brand that has came out this year, in my opinion? Lately, I haven't been using a bunch of new brands, but the ones that have caught my eye so far are I would say is Cativa and and Miles Deep. Those are the top two that I've been seeing a couple videos on, and a lot of people been talking about. Those are the top two brands that's really just really caught my eye so far, and I really want to try Cativa. But once I run through my products, I place my order and see how they work. Franco, how cold is too cold to apply a coating for myself person? Um, for me, I've done a couple of videos before. For me, the coldest for me that is too cold will be like 45, 50 degrees. And when it gets to that temperature, I like to put a tarp, and then my garage actually has some insulation. So whenever I say put an external heater or a propane blower to heat up the garage, even though I have the tarp up there, it gets pretty warm, and then I just turn it off, and it'll be about like 65 degrees inside the garage, and that's uh that's how I do it in the winter. But yeah, if I'm doing it just straight up, the coldest I'll go is 45 degrees. Let's see, the mobile detail shop. What do you think about warranty claims on coatings? I have a podcast on this. I spoke with Carlos Serranos, and we had this whole discussion. And I don't believe in warranty coatings. I just think of it just like anything else in the world. It's more of, you can't prove that it was the coating's fault that it failed, and the coating company has every right to say that the installer had the issue, and they won't pay for it. The most they'll ever pay for it is just the coating bottle in itself. They probably won't even, charge you or give you anything for labor. Yeah. So warranty coatings is a no go for me. What's going on, Ivan? Yeah. And I think that's another thing that sets them apart from a lot of other brands, because a lot of other distribution brands don't venture off. Everybody carries the same thing. You go to your local detail supply store, PNS everywhere. You go to different websites, PNS and these other brands, Carpro everywhere. It's one of those things where everything just feels stagnant, and it's like walking into an auto zone. Like just change it up. I like that whole, Cativa, Miles Deep, bring those international brands. Nobody heard of Labocosmetica until Eddie got them on board. And once Eddie started talking about it, I was like, oh wow, let me take a look at this. And look, it's just Thor really does do the legwork. They do their testing. I've been at Eddie's garage when he showed me a bunch of stuff he was testing out, and he doesn't play when it comes to testing. That's something I can vouch for. Anyone has a no, all cordless rotaries are cheeks. Um, but we will see in April. Everybody has been testing out the new DIY detail one at SEMA, and apparently it holds its torque and its power, and it has the exact same speeds as the corded polishers, which is my favorite. I've used Flex cordless polisher, and the problem with that is I thought it was like their corded one, where it was 600 RPM and 2100 RPM to dry the pad, or max setting on the rotary. And when I ended up getting their cordless, I found out it was 800 RPM, and the highest and when it was like 1600. It didn't work out for me. John Weber, what panel prep for those ivory whites? I gotta put stunner. Um, I just use, like I said, I just use Veritas or Pelias, whichever's closer, and that's pretty much it. Does IPA and water work? I've only tried it once, and I'm not gonna say whether it works for me or not. After I tried it on the first or second panel, and I felt that the panel was way too grabby, and I was doing this on black paint, I was actually leaving a little bit of micro marring or scratches on the paint, and it's I wouldn't recommend it. There, you could just get a panel preps are not really that expensive. But what costs you a gallon of panel prep? Say like $40. You get panel prep for $40, and it actually has surfactants to break down those oils. Like it has extra stuff in the panel prep when you actually get it from a detail company. It's not just IPA and water. Let's see. Why is that Obsessed Garage is the only people that carry Bill Hamber products? Um, well, Bill Hamber isn't really the cheapest products to carry. I'm pretty sure, and not to carry, to purchase. And it Oh, I've used Bill Hamber before, but in terms of cost, it's not lucrative. It's just like vice versa. In the UK, there's certain products that they don't like purchasing. They'll rather purchase Bill Hamber. It's not that their products are bad. It's just one, they're hard to get, and when you get them here, it's not cost efficient. It goes back to price and budget. What are you looking for? Sock takes 40 minutes, and I'm scared of. We each horse. Oh man. Let's see. See, David Boyce, have you come across any paste wax that caught your eye? Um, when I got into the detailing space, was 20, what, like 2020, I want to say like 2019, early 2019. And that's when I started watching the Junk Man and all this other stuff. And when Ivan was on the Rad Company with the old, YouTube videos. And Um, no paste wax. Everything was already spray wax. I'm not really a fan of like rubbing. Dude, you know, that's just me. I've never been a paste wax type of guy. To me, it just takes too much time. Even as an enthusiast, it just bothers me to put that on. Damn, I guess I lost my job. It let's see. Franco, polishing a panel is like making sweet love. If you want to spend 3 or 40 minutes as long as a customer, I, I don't know how to spend 40 minutes on a car or on a panel and I could give the car back in 2 hours. And I don't know. Just sounds incredible. Let's see. Ivan, what have you used to clean your glasses? Yeah, Ivan uses Rinseless for everything. Like he said it before. He uses it to clean his countertops, his table, his glass, his mirrors, his glasses, everything. Rinseless works. I end up using Rinseless to clean my tables, my stainless steel refrigerator, and all that stuff. Let's see. Any other questions? Okay. Emil. Okay. Best pizza, New York or Chicago? New York for life. Now, if you're talking about deep dish, then you got to go to Chicago. But pizza, 110% New York for life. Let's see. I know a shop that used, I think he said Jade Ceramic. He said it's 250 and a lifetime warranty, but I sold them easy peasy bottle. Yeah, look, it's just it goes back to price, performance, and just doing your due diligence. What works for you, what works best. Price isn't always everything. And that's one of those things that yeah, I mean, what works for you? You got Mike G, he has a video out there on certain ceramic coatings that he's testing, and based on the UV, it's just eating away on the coating itself. Yeah, I can answer that question for Ivan. Yeah, so they are using the Makita batteries. You can use Makita batteries, and they are the fast charging batteries too. So they will charge up within like 20, 30 minutes. They'll charge up to like 80%, and you're ready to polish again. So yeah, so they are Makita compatible, the batteries. Let's see, John. I was joking with you about your white teeth. I know you don't use panel. I'm not. Yeah, I use panel prep. Let's see. Bro, I don't take things personal, guys. Guys and girls. I don't take anything personal. This is all fun. We here to talk, chat, talk our shit, you know, do our thing. That's about it. Uh Any other questions? Do I see if you had to choose rinseless or soap? 90% of the time, I'm always grabbing rinseless. That's just me. I like to work fast, efficient. I don't notice any more scratches or swirls whether I use soap or whether I use rinseless. And I've said this before, most of the swirls and scratches for myself that I've noticed that came on my vehicles is from me actually driving on the highway with those New York dirt, grit, concrete, rust, rails, rats, all those stuff just bouncing off my car when I'm driving at the speed limit of 80 miles an hour at a 55 on the highway. Everything is just smacking on the car. Just that's all I hear. So those are pretty much where most of my swirls and scratches really come from. See, Adam's Garage. What are the products on your go-to shelf? What dilutions are you using? Um, my products on my go-to shelf. All right. In terms of polish, 90% of the time I get made fun of this. I end up just grabbing the DIY detail polish. For panel preps, I already said this before, just Pelias or Labocosmetica. For soaps, I barely use soap. And if I grab, to me, any pH neutral soap works for me. Now, if I'm using the alkaline or acidic type of soap, I end up using Labocosmetica's Primus diluted 20 to 1 in a IK foamer in the 2-gallon one. And I also do have 20 to 1 in the IK foamer for Purifica. Those are my dilutions that I end up using. I use that all the time. It works amazing. You do not need anything more than that. I'm telling you all, you do not need anything more than that. You get the true dilution, true dwell time. It removes 90% of the dirt and grime. I have a video out there that I did my hybrid rinseless wash where I have Primus diluted 15 to 1. And even then, I found out that that was too strong. I tried a 20 to 1 dilution a couple of weeks after that on a different vehicle. And 20 to 1 to me is the sweet spot. And you get to save money on top of that. In terms of iron removers, I like to use the DIY detail iron remover. These are my top 3: DIY detail iron remover, ADS iron remover because it smells like coconuts, and the last but not least, I end up using Sidero because that thing is a beast. Yes, you smell like booty and dong after using it, but your car will love you for it. That thing eats. That thing eats. It's like an Italian hitman. It's just, bro, it kills right then and there. What other products do I use? No, no. Glass cleaner. I like Nitido and the new detail code glass cleaner. Those are no dilutions for those. Rinseless wash, 256 to 1. Pretty much top 3 rinseless washes. Yeah, just all in all. Um yeah, that's all I got. Those are all the products really. There's nothing else afterwards. Um appreciate that. Yep. So if you guys could subscribe, I'm fun fact, I think I'm like 20 or 30 followers away from or subscribers to hitting 4K finally in my career. So that's some good news. Let's see. 90% rinseless gang. You already know you're on the wrong side of the hook, huh? You gotta go that way. Soap gang. Yo, Juice, you're protection free or conditioner free? Which one are you? Just asking because you're always asking that question. It says, can I take one bucket to rinse this, no hose or pressure washer and all that stuff goes along with it. Look, man, you're gonna need a contact wash anytime. You're gonna leave some type of traffic film, some type of something behind. I I just my vehicle, I just use one bucket. Literally, that's all I use one bucket. I have a video on doing a construction vehicle on a Mach-E on soft black paints, used one bucket dirty. I think that video is about 2 years old. And the next day I put a short up and it's in direct sunlight. No swirls, no scratches. Just I just trust the science. That's it. If you trust it, you trust it. If you don't, you don't. Use whatever you feel comfortable with. It's your car, it's your baby. You want to touch it, you want to rub it, you want to feel it. Do whatever you got to do. Speed limit of 85. Yeah. You already know. That little car be zooming. Appreciate you, Eileen, for showing up. See, Sock, you tried Sheen, Dryinade, and Flare Quick Detailer from Mild. No, I haven't tried any of Mild Deep's products. The only thing is I've seen positive stuff from it so far, and the other one is Visor from, or Svizzer, or I don't know. But from the only thing that really caught me from Fizzer was their polishes and their pads that don't soften up, they stay the same stiffness. But no, I haven't used any of Mild D products yet. Let's see, Conway Stevens. So I've been working on an index catalog of paint types for soft, medium, or hard. What kinds of combos are great starting points based on years and models? Something people would be interested. Um, I think it's a good base point. That's a great, topic of what you think fits, but everybody has their preferences. It just depends when it comes to, you know, polishes and stuff. Not everybody wants to carry 15 different polishes, and it just goes. I, for me, I just have a mental note of everything, but that's a great thing. It's kind of like a dilution chart, but is it always going to be exactly what you need for that moment? Probably not. Wait, Juice hating on soap? I thought he. I don't know. I'm a Rinseless gang. Let's see. When you were a kid, you had some suds on your brother. That's it. That's it. How about interior products like Ductile? All right, so Ductile and Glico, those I use the recommended dilutions that they said. One is like 10-1, the other one is like 15-1. I use that. That's the dilutions that I use for the interiors. Omnia, same thing. I just use their what they say is a dilution. I try not to go too strong with products like that, especially when I have a steamer right next to it. I don't go too strong for those dilution ratios. But yeah, so everyone, that's pretty much it. I don't see any more questions. Um, yeah, so that's all I have. Hopefully, you know, you guys enjoy this. Don't forget to put down in the comment section again, comment section, hashtag GG podcast for you all to enter. Oh, wait, is this thing on? Yeah, it's still on. Don't forget to put hashtag GG podcast in the comment section. Again, comment section for you all to enter. I will choose a winner at the end. Ask whatever question you want. I'll do a follow up in the beginning of the episode. Just be like, yo, this is blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm talking about. Be like, yo, here's my answer. This is what I did. This is what I did in the hood. This is what goes on. This is how everything works with no garage door. And if it works with no, I'm gonna tell you something. If I use a product and I don't have a garage door, it'll work anywhere. It'll work anywhere. I promise you that. Promise you that. Try me, homie. Hashtag good game. Nah, it's get good, bro. We got to get good at detailing. That's the only way I'm gonna be able to be good. But yeah, that's me. Yeah, we got Carlos Serranos out there in Texas. It'd be summertime. He's sweating. He is sweating, talking about he just applied a coating on a black car on 120-degree weather. My man, if he can make that, if that's working in 120, I can't even talk. I don't know. So if he can make that work on 120-degree weather, that coating will work anywhere, literally anywhere. Got a local shop in Miami called Glass Garage 2. Yo, tell them I love them. GG. But yeah, so exactly. Get good. Get good because I'm already polishing for 40 minutes. And yeah, so appreciate all you for tuning in. And other than that, I will see you guys on the next one. Be safe out there. Enjoy your Fridays. And I appreciate you all for tuning in. And I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.